So in previous videos I've discussed the subject of sponsored posts and sponsored links. However, this is going to be specifically about making donations to organisations and getting a link. It's especially from non-profits, charities or some kind of activities club. Now where this comes in especially useful is for localised traffic. So if you have a business which benefit from having traffic coming in from the local area, this is a great way to do it. Similarly for anything that works nationally as well, but I know for local traffic a lot of people are struggling, so this is a good strategy for local businesses. One of the first places you could look is some kind of local sports team. So for example, a young football club or rugby club or some other kind of small local team. Now you want to avoid huge teams like Tottenham or Man U or even Glasgow Rangers or Celtic. I know some of you probably don't think they're huge teams, but unless you want to be spending tens of thousands or more on a donation, then you want to avoid those. However, if your budget allows for it, that would build enough authority and brand awareness. You could go for some small sports club, which is maybe in your local area that has a website. Generally the smaller the team, usually the smaller the donation will have to be. You can also go to charities. Now these are great sites to get a link from, especially if it's a homepage link. There could be a lot of good content on there and by extension plenty of traffic coming through because of that. If you can find a charity which is somewhat related to your brand, then that's even better. For example, if you had a bottled water company and it was linking to a charity which set up water wells in Africa or something like that. I think I've seen some kind of beer company which made IPAs and they linked with some African charity. Now obviously the national charities are going to be hugely expensive donations, but with local charities, local shelters and youth initiatives and those kind of things, they're probably more within your reach. Now there's just a few things you want to watch out for when doing this type of strategy. So you want to look at the site and make sure that donators are actually getting a link back, and ideally we want to be getting something that's a text, do follow homepage link. Even something within content is good as well, but generally you do find a lot of them will be on the homepage. If it's something that's on the high end, you want to assess from the authority and the traffic potential of the site if it's worth the donation. It could vary from anything from £20 to £2,000. It depends on the charity. Something on the lower end is probably worth it, especially if it's a yearly rate or if it's a permanent link. You may as well just test and see how it goes. Something on the high end though, or if it's a monthly rate, would have to be something particularly good or relevant, and if it's local and it relies on local traffic, it could again be well worth it. Now not every organisation is going to take your donation and give you a link in this way. They may have a policy where the sponsor has to be related to their organisation in some logical way, so that's obviously something else you have to look into. And another thing I want to clear up is don't mistake it for these kind of non-profits who allowed spammy sites to game Google with these kind of donator links. There's an article here which explains what went on. That is something completely different, and it's kind of like a bastardized version of donation link building. So that's not what we're doing here. It's obviously stay within guidelines, make sure it's ethical and this kind of thing. Hope that cleared up for you. Obviously if you have any questions, just leave the comments or just email me a question, and thanks for watching.